Call this meeting to order, determine as a quorum. Commissioner Wardlaw, Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Nettleton, Commissioner Flores, and myself, we have a quorum. If y'all will please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Nettleton, if you don't mind.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank y'all. Before we go on to item 5, if y'all don't mind, our fire chief passed away last week. He'd been with us for many, many years. And if y'all don't mind, I'd like to have a moment of silence, please. Thank y'all. His services will be, if I'm not mistaken, at 10 o'clock Saturday at Trinity. And then the services will be there. They'll go to the cemetery. And then right after that, we're having something at the community center right after the burial for Mr. Russ.
Services where, Judge? Where will the services be?
The services are at Trinity. And then the burial. And then after that, we're have a little gathering for the family over at the community center. As soon as the burial, right after the burial. And item 5. Second. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Citizens' comments. Megan Martinez with CASA. Ma'am, if you want to come up. It's the packet that I handed y'all, this one here right now. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. My name is Megan Partee Martinez. I'm the Executive Director for CASA. CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates, and it is a new program to Del Rio. It is a statewide and nationwide program. We have been working on this organization for almost 2 years, and just in the last 10 months, we have seated a board. We have raised $20,000 through a raffle and also private and anonymous donations. And we're asking the county to support us financially as well. The court-appointed special advocates are also known as guardian ad litems. When a child in CPS is removed from their home, it opens up a civil suit. The child is appointed an attorney ad litem, and that attorney ad litem in Del Rio also serves as the guardian ad litem, because it's Texas law that a child has both. So it's very difficult for attorneys to serve both roles. The attorney ad litem represents the child's voice in court, and the guardian ad litem represents and reports to the court what is in the child's best interest. As a CASA advocate, they visit the child every month. They attend all the court hearings. They file court reports for each hearing. And the advocates themselves are all volunteers. So it's a volunteer-driven organization. There will be paid staff once we're up and running on that. Our status right now is we are waiting for final approval from National CASA to be the official 75th program of CASA in Texas. I've given you all some information about CASA and how it started, and more information in the packets about what we do. Just a little bit about myself. I have 17 years experience with Child Protective Services. I worked there for that organization in San Angelo and here. And in San Angelo, they do have a CASA program. So when I came to work for CPS here in Del Rio and realized that there was not a CASA program, I was very disappointed. And, you know, I made some phone calls, tried to find out if one could get started. And I was not encouraged by any of the information I was provided. So at that time, I promised myself that if by the time I retire from CPS, if there wasn't a CASA program in Del Rio, I would start it. Well, there was somebody from Uvalde that's with CASA that is the person that brought it to Del Rio and began the steering committee. And she contacted me and asked me if I wanted to get involved, and I said yes. And then when the steering committee asked if I would be the executive director, of course I said yes. I quit CPS, and this is what I've been focusing on since last September. The CASA volunteers are instrumental in providing more information to the judge. Judge Gonzalez has a difficult job in making decisions about the permanency and placement of the children that are in foster care. So having another set of eyes in the case is very important, because these CASA volunteers meet with the children. They get to know them. They can call the attorney ad litem. They can call the schools. They make sure that if they need extra services, that those services get in place. And I can tell you, as a CPS caseworker, some of those CASA volunteers can be a little pushy in making sure the children get their services and all their needs met, doctor's appointments, dental appointments. There's also finding resources, because we are very lucky in Del Rio that we have so many relatives that are opening their homes to these children instead of putting them in foster care, because unfortunately Del Rio has very few foster homes. So these kids usually end up in San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, and so it makes it very difficult to reunite the families, and that is always the first goal, if that is possible for the children. So I've seen what CASA can do, and even though sometimes, like I said, they were a little pushy, I was grateful to have them for the children. They were always there for the children. This is the first part of CASA of Valverde. We have plans to expand to Terrell County. We want to go to Kinney County. We want to get Maverick, all the counties that are out in the rural, because there's about, I'd say, 15 to 20 counties in the state of Texas that still do not have a CASA program. So we want to expand CASA to the other counties that don't have it. We also want to work with the police department in establishing a child advocacy center, so that children who have to have forensic interviews don't have to drive to Uvalde to have that done. There's other programs that CASA is involved in, and I can talk a lot more about that, but I won't, because I know y'all are busy, and I thank you for listening to me today.
I know we're not supposed to ask questions.
We're not supposed to.
I just wanted to know, is the phone number on here your phone number?
Yes, sir. This is my phone
Or if
number.
I need to contact you?
Anytime.
Help.
Yes, y'all, you can call me and ask questions directly if you like. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just wanted to know.
I'm glad we got clarification on whether we're supposed to ask questions or not.
Hey, you do the same thing. You just
I was impressed that you just kept asking. But I like the clarification.
That way if I got in trouble, it wouldn't be his fault.
You have I'm sitting here looking through what item I could actually hit before she leaves. For a budget workshop, we have dates here for a budget workshop. On item 22, we're going to set some dates for a budget workshop in order to go over the budget. Our budget, we were asked a little while ago where the budget's at. The budget will be filed tomorrow, and everybody will get a copy of it. I know y'all ask questions right now. And right now, as we go through the items that are listed from 14 to 22 on the budget and setting dates, we'll go through and through the tax rate right now, we'll go through and we'll talk about where we're at with the tax rate, what we're using out of fund balance and stuff like that. But one of the things that I did want to bring up, now that we're talking about the budget,
What item are we on, Chuck?
I would say, let's just do 22, because we're going to set the dates and talk about the budget, if you're okay with that. A budget workshop. In the budget that I'm going to present to y'all, we have a line item that's under other, that's called child welfare. When you ask the question why there was more money under child welfare than what was normal, it was anticipation. If they needed help and the court was so inclined, then we would have some funds there in order to help a program if needed, and the court decided that we needed the help, and it was legal, and the money would already be there versus trying to hit contingency, and then go at something that we didn't plan for.
I would like to see us do something. These are great organizations, so we'll get to that when we do the budget.
Okay. That'll work. Gone through 6. We'll do item 7, approving monthly reports from elected officials. Move. And motion, Commissioner Flores and Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. 5-0. Item 8, approving bills for payment.
Move.
Second. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. 5-0. Item 9, discussion possible action to approve the auditor's report.
Move.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second. Second, Commissioner Vasquez. All in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 10, discussion possible action on the following budget adjustment. A, request budget adjustment from available appropriations for bulletproof vest for Constable Precinct 4. And B, I think we can do these at the same time, for Constable Precinct 2, one's at a cost of $1,262 and one's at a cost of $1,125. We do have funds
for this.
For the bulletproof vest, there are, that was out of the sheriff's office. I believe that's a 2-year grant every other year. But we typically zero that one out whenever it comes up.
Can you take this out of one of these other grants?
Out of OLS money that wasn't allowed, and out of SB 22 money, because it was not for the sheriff's office, it was not allowed. We looked into both of them. The other thing is that we have money in capital that we appropriated in capital.
We do,
that we've not used. But you go ahead now.
Yeah. I believe there's Constable 3 already had one budgeted. The Constable 3 is not going to take that item on. And that's going to be put into next year's budget. So that one was appropriated. So you could use that $1,300 for one of them, and then just take the other one out of.
Because in the budget that I'm
Are we
proposing,
going to fund it next year because the Constable 3 is going to need one next year?
That is correct.
there in the budget that we have right now, in the capital outlay budget, there is a line item for vest for Constable Precinct 3.
And we need these this year. We can't put it in next year's budget.
The money's there. I'd hate for them to get shot.
No. Motion to approve out of capital.
Okay, so
Second.
the 1,300 precinct 3 and then
Yes.
the rest out of capital.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. We do have, in the budget that y'all will get tomorrow, there is money in there for radios, because I think even one of the constables has a borrowed radio from somewhere else. So there's money for radios for them and money for radios for fire. Radios for the sheriff's office. We were going to go through the COG in order to help get some of those radios.
Let me ask you a question before we move on.
Yes.
Instead of taking it out of capital, can we take it out of salary savings? So the capital rolls over to next year?
So whose capital rolls over?
Whatever capital's in there that we're going to use to pay for this.
I believe the judge was referring to the general capital line item.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that one typically does not roll.
That one will just go back in the general, whatever's left will go back in the general fund. That'd be part of the fund balance at the end of the day.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
We had a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. We took a vote. Vote is 5-0. We'll move on to item C, budget adjustment of $30,000 to attorney from available appropriations. Matt?
This is 30,000 every 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's
And we have how many weeks left?
we got about 6 weeks left, but the courts are busy. The courts are busy.
What are we anticipating the number to be by the end of the year?
If we can,
If we're maintaining 30,000 every 2 weeks.
Mhm.
So that's,
Yeah, we're in the 600s now, so we're going to be in the 700s. And you can see on our tax rate calculation, you can see that the tax rate is raised approximately a penny because of these costs, as in the calculation. You put it in there so you can go back. All right.
not a penny.
Pardon?
Not a penny.
Okay.
every single 2 weeks, or we just?
Yeah, I believe we talked about it.
We talked
I
about it
believe
last
we
time.
talked about it last quarter, and you guys wanted it brought back every 2 weeks instead of just doing a large amount. In case they did not come in, then that money.
Where are we at in contingency?
We added another $200,000 to contingency, next year.
No, I'm talking about where are we at right now?
Oh, it's nominal, whatever it is. Typically, we've been going to, after prisoner costs, but those are coming in way under budget. Budgeted 260, we pulled 30 from there.
Motion to approve out of prisoner cost.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 11, discussion possible action on certification of revenue
Motion to
checks.
approve.
Now, 8490, that was a total loss vehicle, so I assume that's gonna be replaced. So there's no place to put that money. If you just wanna throw it in insurance revenue, or if you just wanna.
You put it in insurance revenue because you know they're gonna come back and need something for the vehicle.
Okay. The 3892, that one's already being repaired. We are getting a supplement of 1600. That'll be next court, but this one's already being repaired. So we probably should raise the appropriations in the sheriff's office to certify the revenue under insurance, raise the appropriation in the sheriff's office.
Motion to approve.
Okay.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton. Did you second that?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Does anybody second it?
I'll second.
Second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 12, no action. Before we get into this, because these are going to probably take a little bit, and we have, if y'all don't mind, could we go to item 48? Thank you, Judge. Go back there. Discussion possible action on Senegus Road update. Come on up.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Carlos Perales with Texas Infrastructure Development Group. With me, we have one of our principals, Jesse Jesus Ramos, also. I'm here to give you all just a real quick update on the project. It's been a while since we've come and spoken to you all. The project, we I guess received the award for this about a little over a year ago. But by the time we get all our subs on there, our surveyors and our environmental stuff, it takes a while.
I'm laughing, but the comment yesterday was from Commissioner Flores that you're not moving fast enough. I'm not throwing rocks, but that was the comment yesterday. Private comment. Now that you say a year, it seems like a long time. Again, not throwing rocks.
And we've been fully engaged in the design, I guess, for about 8 months, once we get all the data.
Now it's 8 months. Go ahead.
And, of course, one of the major challenges we had on this was that of drainage. Most of Del Rio, a lot of the county, has a big watershed that ultimately ends pretty much there on Senegus Road and the Southern Union Pacific Railroad. So we feel like we've already addressed that issue, and developed a storm sewer that we feel is gonna be really a good thing, to provide drainage, successful drainage there. The only thing that was not on the original scope of work, I will point out, is that of the outfall. Because of this drainage that we have accommodated, we do need an outfall, and that's still in the works. So we are right now presently getting additional survey. It's not going to take long. We feel like within the next 3 or 4 weeks, we'll have that survey for the outfall. And that's not keeping us from design. We're continuing with design. That survey that we're getting is just to basically confirm what we're doing in design as a cross-check. And because of that, our environmental will still be kind of at a standstill until that outfall gets determined. It shouldn't take him long. From what I understand, environmentally, this is not a TxDOT job, so it's not one that has to go through all those hoops and hurdles. So I don't anticipate a lot of delay with environmental, but you never know, there could be something that could delay that. But when it's all said and done, I guess, design-wise, we feel like we're a good 70 to 75% of the way with the design of the plans. We can probably get a full set of plan specifications and estimates to you all in about 3 months, so that puts us in about November. I know there's urgency there to award this project soon. Conservatively, we're thinking that probably early next quarter would be ideal to let it, not because of the design, but just because of those issues like environmental and survey and such. But if things do proceed accordingly and we get some good news here and there, there is a possibility that we could, award this thing or send out to bids by the end of this year. But I'm not going to hold my breath on that.
But I think in the conversation yesterday was pretty much if we could just get it done by mid-March,
Yes.
Would be great. And if it happens before,
Yeah.
like Commissioner Flores wants, naturally we'd be even happier, but, if we could just get all the pieces to fall in place by mid-March would be great. I know that, part of the conversation yesterday was, working with the city because they're planning, the outfall line on the sewer. We were gonna send some emails on that. We'd already advised them that the road was being built when we started all this, or that we were going through the process. And at that point, we were gonna wait on some plans. So I think we're gonna send the city another email and ask them if they should already have the plans on the outfall line to make sure that where we're digging for the pipe on the drainage, we don't interfere with them and they don't interfere with us type.
Sure.
That way we're not doing it twice.
Sure.
So, anything else, Commissioner?
No, I was just gonna state that, I guess, y'all are moving on a timely fashion. I mean, no major delays. It's just the process of the project.
Yeah, like I said, the initial survey, you give us a little bump in the road there, but we're going to get that out of the way. The environmental, that's always a wild card, but like I said, I don't anticipate any problems, but that could take a few months just to get that going, the correspondence and what have you.
I was gonna make a smart aleck remark. We couldn't just build it and send Abner as built. This is what we did.
And of course, we don't anticipate any major utility issues, but there could be some there. I mean, we're in the process of digesting everything that's been turned over to us at this time. We don't anticipate any major conflicts. There are some gas lines there, some sanitary sewers, but we're designing around those. Hopefully, there won't be too many conflicts there.
And you had said a little bit that some of the road probably gonna have to be lowered a little bit just because of the type of design and stuff like that.
It's gonna be a
So
curvy
elevation's gonna
intersection.
change a little bit.
Yeah, we're lowering the grade at least a foot, maybe a foot and a half throughout the project.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank you.
all the work y'all done.
And just for transparency, the court went out and borrowed money, $6 million for this project. And then we'd set aside, extra funds at the beginning in order to get the process started. So, unless it just blows up, seems like we should be good. Which should.
It's a very worthwhile project. I think
Yes.
y'all
No, it
really,
is.
yes,
I
we
mean-
really need this.
Like I've stated before, it's the backbone of the industrial park. Everything comes into Ciénegas, or they drive up and down those commercial trucks up and down Ciénegas Road.
Okay, you have anything else, Commissioner?
No, sir.
Y'all good? Thank y'all so much
Thank you.
for being here.
Anytime you all need another update, just let us know. We can even get more details or show plans or whatever.
Well, in the plans that you showed us yesterday, the sheets that y'all showed us yesterday, like you said, you're gonna add more detail. And
Yes.
At that point, come back.
Sure, we can present a little more
Hand it
formal
to us.
presentation.
Yeah, if you don't mind. All right, thank you, Carlos. Item 13, present the tax rate. The tax rate that we have right now, is, 0.4977. When we were doing this budget, and trying to present a budget and get it done and be able to file it tomorrow, that was the number that we were trying to stay under or stay at, not go over. I'm gonna go and let you go if you want me to go. There was a lot of conversation, there's been a lot of conversation, that when we went out for a bond on the library, citizens gave us 3-point-some odd cents, that we could raise the tax rate 3-point-some odd cents in order to be able to pay for the library. Commissioner Nettleton had been really vocal about, make sure we get it back. And we've had conversations since I came in as judge and with all the members of the court. When we came in as a county judge, our tax rate was at 0.523 something. So if you take that and take the tax rate that we have today, we've lowered the tax rate by 2.6 odd cents since we came in. And I will tell you that this court, this conversation I had with Commissioner Nettleton yesterday, we've been real conservative when it comes to the general fund and what we do and what we give back, and trying to stick to what trying to give back some money. So, we've borrowed, and I was on the way in this morning trying to figure out how much money we've borrowed exactly. And I'm probably missing a little bit, but we've probably borrowed a little over $20 million with it, starting with the SU Ranch. We did a 6, we did a 9, we did a 3, we did a 4. So we've borrowed a little over $20 million since 2019, whether it be tax note or certificates of obligation or something. And even saying all that, this court, it's been, and not only the court, but the department heads, you look at our fund balance, and here in a minute, when we, in talking about the tax rate, the budget that I'm going to file for the court, and then it belongs to the court, and they'll, do whatever they want to with it. But I'm at a $2.9 million deficit, rounded up. It might change by tomorrow. But as of right now, we're at a $2.9 million deficit. And that money's coming out of our fund balance. But even at that, we still have a little over $5 million in fund balance, which still leaves us, depending if you do revenue or if you do expenditures, 77 to 80 some odd days, still. So, whatever happens right now, I just want to thank the court and thank the elected officials and department heads, because if it isn't for them taking care of the citizens' money, in order to keep the same services, we would have to raise the tax rate, just to keep what we have. And then in this budget, we're going through attorneys and others. There's another $200,000 there. We have another $160,000 in insurance. We have another couple $100,000 in change in utilities from this year to next year. We have, $800 or whatever $1,000 in raises. We have $100,000 in longevity pay. We have more money. We're setting aside, $2.2 million in capital expenditures, which are above, the year that we're in. And in order to function, I would hope that we could keep the same tax rate, because this court has really done a really good job, and we've already paid back or lowered the tax rate by 2.6 cents. This court still has to make a decision. If we lower the tax rate, and we've had this conversation even before the meeting, there's only a couple of ways to balance budget. It's pretty simple. You don't really need to be a rocket scientist. You lower expenses or you raise your income. It's that simple. We have, I looked across right now, saw Mr. Rocha. We have $355,000 in here also for Escondido Estates to do that project. Don't know if that's going to be enough or not, but that was a high number that we've heard so far from the city, and that number's in here. So, I would hope that we could keep the 0.4977 and go on. I will say again, without, and I'm going to repeat myself, this court has done an amazing job with the funds that we had when it comes to the general fund and just the savings. The elected officials, when you go back and look, we wouldn't have a fund balance of what we have if our department heads weren't doing a really good job. Then we have Matt and Aaron and Matt. They're able to put our money where it benefits us the most, especially this last year and change, that our interest rates has been high. So that's really helped. The $9 million in change that we got out of ARPA, that helped us to buy equipment, buy projects, do projects. And, there's an item on here that Commissioner Flores put on about ARPA. We have to do something with that money before the end of the year. But in the budget that I will be presenting tomorrow, I have a tax rate of 0.4977, and that is the total overall tax rate for the general fund, road and bridge, and the debt service, of a total tax rate of 0.4977, which is the same amount the same tax rate that we had, the previous year. Anybody else, Commissioner?
Our, no new revenue rate this year, Matt, is 0.5827, 0.4827.
Yes, 4827, actually.
So we're gonna be 0.015 above our no new revenue rate.
Above the no new revenue rate, correct.
And the rollback rate is 0.5311.
If you believe the comptroller, yes.
Well, that's the number they gave us.
That is, and that their I expect them to adjust that calculation. There's no way that can be factual because we've already used that. But
We have given back the taxpayers approximately 2.6 cents out of the 3.2 over the last several years.
Since 2019.
yeah, 5237 is coming to mind.
We also have issues with employees that are trying to struggle. I watch our employees having two jobs trying to make ends meet.
Yeah.
If we're gonna keep the 0.4977, which I'm fine with, I would like to see us do something with our bottom end employees, and move our starting up a little bit higher, but we'll look at that as the budget moves along.
What is kind of important to point out, as the rollback rate, the voter
Approval
tax,
rate.
yeah, we changed now, is 5064. So you're coming below that. You're not pushing above that. You're kind of in between your no new revenue, and we know that that's just a number. The no new revenue rate on the calculation only works in theory if you live in the triangle.
What would be if you went to the no new revenue rate, which is a difference of 0.015, what is the difference in revenue?
Approximately 400,000.
Yeah. 400, 600.
600. I'm counting
One and a half cents.
1.5 cents.
1.5 cents. Yeah,
So
that
each
would
cent's
be,
about 400,000.
yeah, it's 390%. So if it's 1.5, then that's what it would be 6.
600,000.
Good job. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, you've been working on this.
Has he?
Got the number memorized.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the
But
rate. We have given the taxpayers some money back. I would like to see, as time goes, we continue to give them a little bit of their money back. As our employees need raises, so does our taxpayers. So I understand the city's looking at a tax increase.
1 penny was what was proposed last night. 1
Yeah.
cent. 1 cent was what was proposed last night by the city to go up.
So they're going to the ATR? We know?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, no? Okay.
You're using acronyms.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unless I'm getting a cheat sheet, I have no idea.
I'm sorry about that. I apologize. I'm supposed to do that. The voter approval tax rate.
Yes, yeah.
That's what they're going to? Okay. And you are below that?
70 is what the tax rate, frankly, what they proposed last night.
We're well below the voter approval.
Right, so this is going to create the increment rate debacle that it does that can be used in future years, up to 3 years.
Yeah, and that's something that's still left with this court, and I'm the only one left here that actually voted for a 2 cent, rate increase. There was, our county judge, Efrain, and.
I'm sorry, you meant vote for, okay.
Yeah, I'm the only one left that actually voted for it. Yeah, I'm the only one left that actually voted for a 2 cent.
We've been at 47.
Yeah, but that's $800,000 a year that we would not have been able, either way, we won't have that conversation. Yes. Commissioner,
Reminding you every year.
Commissioner Nettleton and Commissioner Flores, voted against it, and, Efrain and Commissioner Ramon and myself voted for a 2 cent, tax increase. Yeah, so I'm the only one left. Matt, the tax rate is 0.4977. So I would present the tax rate as 0.4977, and then, I'd ask if you could break that down so we could be more clear. And we can do the M&O, and then the debt service would be fine.
Okay. Okay. The maintenance and operation is 0.4296.
What was it last year?
Well, it would be what the tax rate was minus the debt rate. So 4977 minus
I understand that.
865. So
I don't remember what it was.
But it would be 4977 minus the 865 that it was, so whatever that is. It is.
It was, .411 something, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And that was just off the top of my head. I could be mistaken, but that's pretty close.
Well, you were good on the 600, so that's probably it.
Somebody was talking. So we have an M&O. That's too cool.
And the interest is sinking rate?
Yes. 0.0681.
And you're not gonna tell me what last year was? You don't
What,
remember?
the last year's debt service was?
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, 0.865.
Yeah.
But I can definitely look that up and get that to you.
Yeah, that's
After
pretty close,
executive
because I
session.
remember the .41 something. You add the 8 something to that, we'd have been at the 49 something.
The farm to market?
Farm to market is 0.0178. And general fund is 0.4118. So we add up that general fund 4188, farm to market 0178, that gets you your M&O rate of 4296. With the addition of your debt rate, 0681 gets you to your 4977.
So we're moving 2 cents out of,
We're moving like a cent, yeah, right at 2 cents
2 cents
out of
out
it.
of the INS and the M&O.
Yes. Yeah, because our
And that
values
is
went
because
up.
we're paying off debt.
Because we're paying off debt and then the value went up, properties went up. And we're still at $2.9 million, deficit.
Out of the 2.9 million, 2 point something of that is
2.5,
capital.
2.5, 2.3, 2.4, $2.5 million is straight
So
capital.
we're using about 300,000, 400,000 for the actual budget itself. This capital will go away next
Yes,
year.
yeah. We'll be able to, next year, if we don't have a good fund balance, the capital expenditures don't need to be in there. And these right here won't be in there again, but if we have more capital that other projects that we need to go, use money on, if the fund balance is not there, then
And you have set aside some money in this for a new fire station.
we set aside, 980, and that was probably gonna go up another 100,000 to 1,080. We're gonna visit, September 5th to see about trying to get grant money, for the fire station, and, Carlos is looking at another grant, through,
This, what are the Department of Defense?
mhm,
Yeah.
also. So, this will help get it started, and then there's 2 other grants out there that we'll be applying for.
There is a huge need for a fire station, which is why I think if we leave the tax rate at what you have it set at, and we can get a fire station out of it, we're still keeping 0.06 of the 3.2, but at least we'll get a fire station out of the deal.
And, you know, the comments on that, the last meeting, you know, we're not gonna do away with Senegas. I think there still needs to be something there, because we have volunteers also that can get there quicker. But this other way, I know that we're having issues because of the distance, from a fire station. People are having a hard time with.
The insurance rates are outrageous, on the north side, out by the lake,
Yeah.
because of that distance.
And it'll help precinct 2, because it's closer also to Valverde Park, and I think this year, what, 3 or 4 fires out there, mobile homes, that have burned. And then Escondido also, it'll be closer to Escondido once we get the fire hydrant, problem fixed, we actually have someplace to hook up to. So, I mean, I think it's a win-win, I really do. Matt, You had M and O at .4296. What's the debt service?
0.0681.
Okay. You want me to make it?
No, I'll make the motion when you get to the item. I don't want to upset him. We ain't on the right item. Marty in trouble.
We presented the tax rate at .4977. Are y'all okay with this tax rate? If, all right. Item 14, vote on proposed tax rate.
I'll make a motion that we set the tax rate at .4977, being the M and O at .4298, and the interest and sinking at 96, and the interest and sinking at .0681, and the farm to market at .0178.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Set date for tax rate hearing. This is following the same schedule that we followed for the last 2 years.
Motion to approve the date of 8/28/2024.
A motion, Commissioner.
Is that the meeting? I don't even know.
That's a meeting.
6 p.m. or no?
That's the late night.
6 p.m.
Yeah. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Set date for public notice for tax rate.
Motion to approve for 8/21/2024.
Second. A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 17, set date for budget hearing.
Motion to approve a budget hearing on 8/28/2024 at the 6 p.m. meeting.
Second. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. You know what? Let me go back to that. Can we do it at 6:15? That way it gives us time to get started.
I'll amend my motion to be 6:15 for the public hearing.
If I may, is everyone here on 8/28?
Well, the public hearing, that's not the one that we need everybody here. We need everybody here for the votes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the budget hearing, yes. I wasn't sure if everyone was scheduled to be here at legislative session.
I'm here.
Okay.
And again, as long as we just have a quorum, we'll be fine.
But for the vote on the budget, we have to have the full.
Yes. I had a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. It was amended to 6:15. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0.
Judge, point of order on number 15, for the tax rate hearing, it was at 6 p.m., so that's the time the meeting starts.
Okay, you want to move that one too? Let's go back to item 15. That work?
I'll amend my motion on item 15 for the tax rate hearing to be on 8/28/2024 at 6:10.
That'll work.
Second, accept.
All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. All right, set date for budget hearing. That's the one that we just did. Item 18, set date to publish notice for budget.
Motion to approve for 8/21/2024.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Set date to adopt budget.
Motion to approve for 9/11. Is that a morning meeting?
That's the morning meeting.
Okay, I'll be here. It's afternoon.
Second, Judge.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 20, set date to adopt tax rate.
Motion to approve for 9/11/2024.
I will second that, Judge.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 20,
We did no pay raises on elected officials.
no pay raises on elected officials or auto allowances or anything having to do with elected officials. It was in the packets that I gave y'all, only to the commissioners, but it was in the packets that I gave to every one of the department heads.
Motion to set the salaries as presented, and we need to publish them. And publish them.
Yes. Hope to set out, and we'll publish them, next week.
I'll second that, Judge.
And motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Set date for budget workshops.
Motion to approve for 8/28 at 6 p.m. and 9/11 at 9 a.m.
I will second that, Judge.
And motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 23, the grievance committee, for elected officials for fiscal year.
You need to draw names on that.
It comes out of the grand jury pool, if you'll just give me permission to do it, because
Okay,
I'm
motion
actually
to approve and authorize the judge to draw the names.
And motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. So just give me a minute. Please, please. Okay. Item 24, discuss possible action on administratively complete agreement from Texas,
Motion to approve.
Second. On motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Mr. Rocha, you had sent an email, you sent a text message. The backup information was there, but I just explained to you before the meeting, it's just to close out the 3 grants, or the 1 grant for the 3 different locations, Rise, San Felipe Pastures, and Vega Verde. So this is to close them out. We're going through the process of applying for another grant, and this is part of that process. We got to close everything out in order to make sure that we're moving forward with the other one. That work? Item 25, discussing possible action approving a resolution to apply
Motion to
for.
approve.
Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 26, discussion possible action.
Motion to approve.
Second, Judge.
Motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 27, discussion possible action approving the budget details for Colonia Fund Construction Grant. Comstock, 313,000, San Felipe, 314, Vega Verde, 313, Grant Administration,
Motion to
60.
approve.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 28, discussion possible action approving Form 808, requesting the use of Precinct 4 force account labor for construction activities to install water line.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Nettleton, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 29, discussion possible action approving posting public notice intent to submit 2024 Colonia Fund Construction Grant. Texas Department, Second. And motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 30, discussion possible action approving affidavit of posting public notice of
Motion
intent.
to approve.
And motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 31, discussion possible action approving
Motion to
Davis
approve.
Powell.
Second, Judge.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 32, discussion possible approving Davis.
Motion to approve.
Second. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 33, discussion possible action approving Texas Infrastructure Development LLC invoice final for Texas Parks and Wildlife Target Range project.
Move.
Second. And motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 34, discussion possible action approving Esser and Company
Motion to
Consulting.
approve.
Second. And motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 35, discussion possible action approving
Motion
spreadsheet.
to approve.
Second. And motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Discussion possible action to update on Valverde Community Recreation Expansion Project Community Development Award in the amount of $2,062,500. Carl, you want to give us an update on it? Evidently, I mean, this is the one that we applied for. It's the park, or it's the recreational park or sports complex or whatever. In precinct 2, the one behind the 7th and 8th grade that,
Yes, sir.
the county and
I
Commissioner
don't really
Vasquez
remember
working.
how I stumbled on this last week, but I did. I found the United States Congressional Report from March of 2024 when the House of Representatives, full House of Representatives, full House of the Senators there met. And actually, I got a copy of the report, and I went through there and I printed what was applicable for Valverde County. And it actually shows that day where they actually awarded the funds to Valverde County. That's the first correspondence that I found. I have actually a hard copy of something to show for that. So what is happening is that the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and I have subscribed to that listserv, they're coming out with information periodically, format and correspondence to move forward. My comment to the court is that probably around September 1 or around thereafter, you should be receiving a contract from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. It's kind of a slow process. This is the U.S. federal government. Nothing moves very fast, but it looks like the money's been locked in for Valverde County.
And Tony Gonzalez had contacted you and contacted us also that they were, it's there. You just have to wait type
Right.
deal. And this is one of the projects that we borrowed at $9 million or whatever for, take it back. $6 million for the road, $1.5 million for the target range, and then another $2 million for this project here. So this county did borrow another $2 million. We had talked about doing environmental and trying to get that process going, and visiting with Tony, Congressman Gonzalez's thing was, probably should wait until we give you everything. That way you don't get ahead of the game, and then what you've spent
Exactly.
does not work for us.
Yeah.
So we do have more money in order to move forward with the project. We had talked about trying to move forward, but then we sort of put the brakes on to make sure that we didn't get ahead of ourselves and do something that we're going to spend money on and they weren't going to accept.
Actually, I may make a comment. Somewhere in there I saw that to use these funds, you actually got like 10 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, so, yeah, it's a government mule. It doesn't move very fast.
And the other deal was, when we were applying for another grant, we applied for another $1.5 million for the same project.
That is correct.
Through the process.
Yeah, I think that's pending. I've not heard anything on that.
No,
Yeah.
and we haven't either. So, I guess that's a good thing. They haven't told us no.
Yes, sir.
Right, so. Is there any good questions for Paul?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Edson. Item 37, discussion possible action for precinct 4 to receive a donation of 1 to 3 loads of sandy loam to be donated by Commissioner Flores.
Motion to approve, Judge.
I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Nettleton. All those in favor? Aye. One abstention, I guess?
Yes.
4-0 vote, 4-0 against, and 1 individual abstained, which is Commissioner Flores. Item 38, discussion possible action on ARPA monies that are remaining. Matt handed y'all out a copy a little while ago. There are funds in different accounts that have already been appropriated. We have till the end of December. Commissioner.
Judge, the reason that I put this on the agenda is just little concerned about money that are there that have not been used, and we need to use this money or we're going to lose it by the end of this year if we don't use it. So what I wanted, Matt, is to come up maybe at a future meeting to bring a total dollar amount, not what the commissioners' precincts have, but what's in there in the main general budgets for different, different things, different projects within the county.
And what we can do, and we talked about it yesterday, and then I talked to Matt after I talked to you, we'll put it an item on the agenda in October, and go over all the funds that are still in there, the balances that are still in there, bring it back to the court. and then the court can figure out what they want to do with it. There is a dollar amount in there for interest that we received. That interest right there, is going to help, pay for, the $355,000 that,
Escondido.
Escondido, versus trying to take it out of the general fund money, use state money. But that's the way I'm gonna present it in the budget. Y'all can move it if y'all want, but that's where that 355 will come out. But it's not gonna affect the commissioners at all, and there is some more money still left in there. But again, all that will be presented to the commissioners, in October to see what is it that y'all wanna do. There's a lot of little line items with 50s and 70s and 80s. There's like a total of $1.8 million, I think. in there.
Can we get an update from these other ones, like sewer infrastructure? Public health, kind of what they're working on and what they're not working on?
What we can do,
What we have left?
what we can do,
How many projects we have for like sewer infrastructure, homes, remodeling, all those kind of things?
what we can do for the next meeting, not so much put it on the packet, but we can shoot for a date of 2 weeks and give y'all an itemized list of what's there. And then we'll put an item on the agenda in October, but we'll keep you, better informed or informed about what's going on and actually what the dollar amounts are in each one of the line items.
And the elevator one?
The elevator,
I thought we already had contracts on that.
we have a contract for this one. The other one, they've not contracted.
Well, they have not.
Huh?
We've gone out to bids, but we haven't contracted.
We have not gone out for bid on the elevator out at, you correct me if I'm wrong, on the elevator at, over there, because we were just having so much trouble with this one. We're learning a lot from this one that,
Will we be able to have a contract in place?
yes,
Before December, I'm sorry.
yes. But I'd like to bring that back to y'all to check and see, make sure with those dollar amounts that are there, if
And then you'll get us an update, like the fairgrounds is sitting there at $156.
Every line item that's out there,
we'll do
you need to
every
bring us a total dollar
one.
amount.
We'll do every
period.
one of them, and what we'll do is, we'll break it down. I'll get with Matt, we'll break it down, and hand each one of y'all a packet of y'all's, and hand y'all another packet with everybody else's that's in there. Commissioner Wardlaw's in charge of the fairgrounds, so we can go in there and, hand him a packet with what he's pertaining to.
Did we finished the soccer field, right?
The soccer fields are done. I think they're completely done. We were worried about a 5% or 10% that was going to be paid, but that, holding back, but that actually got paid too. So my understanding is
Do we need
everything.
anything else in the soccer fields, bleachers,
The parking area.
goalies, parking, whatever?
Well, the parking area, y'all had brought it back up. I need to write this stuff down.
We got $47,000 sitting there. We need to redo the parking or get some bleachers or something.
I think the parking's pretty beat up.
Okay. I got homework.
Y'all can buy the material. I don't mind
Yeah.
having my guys help do the paving of it.
Okay.
The process is good.
Carlos, if we'll measure that today sometime, we'll go out and measure and get an idea of what that's going to cost.
If you can, look at widening the parking lot back a little bit further.
The ditch.
When it's, close to the ditch, because when everybody's playing, that thing is packed and they're still parking on the street. So.
We don't need to fly the drone, just for your information.
He ain't gonna do it at the drone, man.
He's smiling because he already did. Okay. So you probably already have it, right? Okay. All right. Okay. We'll get y'all a spreadsheet with balances and then put an item on the agenda.
Is that spreadsheet though, like these, like Carl and the other, can they give us a list of projects that they're trying to get done, or do they have under
What
contract?
we'll do is every line item go through there and then check and see what's encumbered and what projects they have going on. I know that they still had some septic systems, that they were doing.
Yeah.
And that way we can get a better idea of what's actually left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Matt, you okay?
Yes.
Hold on.
What do we?
What are you doing?
Oh, I was just giving Carl that.
You okay? We good?
We're good.
Okay, thanks. Item 39, discuss and possible action on removing, Human Resource Department to Old County Attorney's building, this court had already voted on moving, Carlos over there. I asked Gus if he'd put this on the agenda since he's the one in charge of buildings, so we could have a discussion of moving HR over there also. We've taken both departments, last week and this week to go look if the space would accommodate them. And they're more than happy. One of the reasons that I'd rather not leave, HR up on the third floor just because of security and, what we have going on the second floor. And now we have two ladies on the.
Judge, I'll make a motion to approve this. So we're only housing, human resources and the county engineer in that building.
Risk management, yeah, that whole department, both departments. It'd be the two departments that are on the third floor would be here.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion, Commissioner, Flores, second, Commissioner Nettleton. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0.
Go ahead, make a second motion before we went into details a little bit here. I'll take it.
Now you're making fun. Well, Bo already told me too. He's like, I can't make a motion until you get to the item. Okay. Item 40, discussion possible action for approval to provide lunch to South Texas Healthcare.
Motion to approve. Second, do they have the funding or we need to?
I don't think they can take it out of their.
How much do they need?
He didn't provide us with a dollar. Available for-
5,000? Is it gonna be, I mean, I don't know how many people we're talking about.
Let's table it and I'll call it right now. Because I didn't get a number. Table it.
You don't need it.
Table it, Judge, and then bring
Yeah,
it
come
back.
back.
Motion to table to after executive session.
Second.
You have a cell phone? You have a cell phone? Okay. I've got it. Have a motion to table, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Item 40. Let me take it. Can you just send him a text? That way I'll have to send it to him. Ask him how much money he needs. Item 41, discussion possible action to approve a 3-year renewal contract for Spectrum. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 42, discussion possible action on our county judge sign you lease. Okay. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 43, discussion possible action to approve roof repairs at Precinct 3 warehouse from available insurance funds of $6,200.
Well, where's this insurance money coming from? I mean,
We had
three or?
No, we have, insurance money set aside because our deductibles are so high. It's a $100,000 deductible, what we already voted on. This thing here did not reach the deductible limit. So it's coming out of insurance money that we already had, that we've collected for other buildings. Does that make sense?
How much money do we have left? I've got some damage to my roof over in Precinct 4.
Do you have damage?
Yeah,
Where at? Which one?
Precinct 4 yard, the new one.
The new, well, get Carlos to go look at it. Okay. It's like you don't want to give too much information because he's like, I got damage everywhere. I got cars too. I have a motion, Commissioner Middleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. This insurance money also, we have not built a pavilion, which we ended up tearing down a pavilion. So, that's one of the projects that we probably need to get done because that's where we got money from.
Right.
Okay. There was a 5-0 vote on that one. Item 44, discussion possible action to authorize county judge to sign the awarded contract for bid 24-32 between Valverde County and Industry Signs upon review and approval of county attorney. This project is the installation of an LED digital message board at the Valverde County.
Motion to approve and have the judge sign.
Second, that, Judge.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. Do you have the plans for that?
On?
I'm just kidding. She gets really nervous. All those in favor? Aye. And she was looking like, she was gonna go, I can get him. Motion passes 5-0. Item 45, discussion possible action for approval to declare the following items. Motion Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Nettleton. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 46, discussion possible action for approval to allow county clerk to pay overtime to staff from records archive account, amount to be used.
Motion to approve.
Second. And start date would be like today, right? Not moving backwards. Is that correct?
And I want to thank her for finding funds in our own special funds to do this.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, not coming out of the general.
Right.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 47, discussion possible action on authorized county judge to sign.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 48 has already been done. Item 49, discussion possible action on replat, modifying lots 29 and 30, Devil's Point subdivision is recorded in slide 418 of Valverde County map of records.
Everything's good on that, Mr.?
Yes, sir, correct.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve them.
Second. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 50, discussion possible action authorizing
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Not yet? Okay. Item 51, discussion possible action to
Motion to
approve.
approve as presented.
Second. Motion, Commissioner Nettleton. Second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 52, discussion possible action authorize the issuance of a credit card to William Bill Vete.
Motion to approve them.
Motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Nettleton. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 53, closed session consultation pursuant to Texas Government Code A 551.071, parentheses 2, attorney-client privilege, B 551.071, parentheses 1, parentheses A, contemplated litigation, C 551.072 regarding purchase, exchange, lease, and real property, D 551.073 regarding the negotiated contract, E 551.076, security devices, security, whatever. Y'all will give us the room, and we'll take a minute. Yes, sir. Come on, there it is, light came back on. Back in open session from executive session, no action was taken. We had tabled an item, item 40, discussion possible action for approval to provide lunch.
Motion to approve $300 at a contingency.
Second. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. Everything else we went through. Let me get back to the back. Item 54, Commissioners' comments. None. Item 55. Well, not really. None. Item 56. Motion. Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. This meeting is adjourned. Thank y'all.